Hey Cancer, my name is Amanda Pearl and I am here for your end of November, aka Thanksgiving in America. Thanksgiving love horoscopes per sign. Well, taroscopes, I guess. So Cancer, this reading would be appropriate for Cancer Sun, Rising Moon, or Cancer Venus, or a cross watcher if you want to see what the Cancer's up to, honey. And trust me, it's not as bad as you think. We are in it. I am a Cancer Moon, so I definitely vibe with this. And the cards that I pulled are very they really make me feel like Cancer right now, you are exhausted. Like, you are burned out right now. Like, I think that the past 2 years have been some of the hardest for you. And while really good things have happened, like things you've always dreamed of, you're just wondering, when am I going to stop suffering? But the difference, Cancer, between you wondering, when am I going to stop suffering now, and when you would wonder, when am I going to stop suffering 5 years ago, is that now I do feel this, like, hope inside of you. I feel like that's what's making it even harder. Because right now, you know that you're capable of, like, big things. Like, there's something brewing within you. It's either some sort of career change, or like you're wanting to start your business or take your business to the next level. And just like this unfulfillment, basically. So there's a few things going on. You're coming out of survival mode right now. So you're noticing it more than ever. Because you have to think of yourself. So if you've been like more sad or more depressed, when you're so depressed, like, what can you do really? Not a lot. So it's almost like when you're coming out of a depression, and we're just going to call that like survival mode for like the purposes of right now. When you're coming out of survival mode, it's almost like you notice it more because you have a little bit more energy than when you're just like in the lowest of the low, just like trying to get by, just like waking up with dread, crying, anxiety, yada yada, babada babada. You are getting better right now, and it's scaring the pants off of you. What feels like a burnout is a next level jump. What feels like despair is uncomfortability because you've up-leveled so much. What feels like depression is you letting go of the old patterns that you've done so much work to let go of. You're, in a way, mourning the self that you were, but you are still you. Does that make sense? You're mourning this hermit lifestyle. That's what your guides are saying. That's so interesting. I feel that. You're mourning the you that felt fine with a mediocre life. Because that's easier. Hello, it's easier to want just okay than to want fantastic, phantasmic. It's easier to say, I'm going to do this safe path rather than go after what you want. You know what I mean? So it's like you've realized so many like dreams you've had, and you have so much clarity now about, well, clarity is coming together still, I feel like, for you, but you have more clarity than you did before. We can at least admit that. Before, things kind of just felt not right, and you just kind of avoided that feeling. But this year, you've faced yourself more head on, and it's like you're ready for the next level, but the only thing holding you back is you. And I hate when people say stuff like that, because I'm like, but I want to go to the next level. But the thing about it is that it's so easy at this point where you're at. It's so easy right now. It wasn't always so easy for you, and I'm not discounting any kind of mental illness. But where you are now, it's between letting the you where you are now and where you want to be, like if this is one location on a map and this is another, the distance between these two is literally the length of you letting go. Let go of your old self. Let your old self die. As crazy as that might sound, your guides are saying some pretty interesting things. They're saying that, like, it's really time for you to, like, ask for help emotionally in a different way. And I would say that that means, like, seeing a healer or a therapist or a spiritual mentor. And they're really calling for you to please, I love when they phrase things so specifically, to please stop trying to think you need to do more to get to the next level and just walk across the bridge. Stop saying, what class do I need? What certification do I need? What trauma do I have to get rid of? What do I need to do? What's the next step? Stop. And think and feel as if you're already at your next level. The you that makes the money that you want. The you that has the freaking partner that's hot and nice and funny. What would that you tell this you? Because your guides are saying literally that you would tell the current you, your day's away. Chill. And isn't that funny that you feel so much in your head like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to be? And your guides are like, you're already it. You're already everything. So, it's really just a matter of surrendering to that. And what I mean by surrendering is accepting. What I mean by accepting is forgiving yourself for not doing it. And what I mean by forgiveness is letting go. And what I mean by letting go is just being present. What you want, it's like, this is a collective thing. I've been hearing these messages in the other readings too. It's like that drawing of I'll just say a person. I'm not going to make you like an animal. I'm not going to be like that elephant. The person that's like sitting in the cage, that sounds weird. The person that's like sitting in the cage, but the cage is like not even half their height and they could just walk out. That's you right now, Cancer. And you can feel that. So, get with a healer, get with a mentor if you're not sure how to get where you want to go, but really get deep into this present moment because good things are happening for you. Let's get into the cards. So, I pulled the Ace of Air, which is I did a spell with this card, so there's some candle wax on it. But the Ace of Air is the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Air is the Nine of Swords. These cards are really, really interesting because the Ace of Air is like the card of starting a new, challenging beginning. I feel like this is what the cards are telling me. So the Ace of Air is the card of starting a new, challenging beginning. The Nine of Air, the Nine of Swords, is about having a lot of anxiety over things you can't control, like just like looping mental patterns. And then I pulled the Judgment card. It's called the Renewal card in this deck. So this like tells a little story. Sometimes the cards are like very descriptive each. The cards all go together. The Ace of Air is like, you know what you want to do. You want to start this little side business. You want to start your own business. You want to get a promotion. You want to get a better job. You know what you want to do. But you feel like it's hard. Like you feel like, I know what I want, but am I enough? Can I do this? These are the questions that you're asking yourself. But the question that you should be asking yourself is, why not you? Why not me? You're seeing people doing what you want to do all over in a more simple way. And you are like, your guides are so gassing you up right now. You guys are geniuses. And you have to share your art with the world. One of my mentors, Katrina Ruth, said, if you don't make $1 million next year, it's rude. It's rude to all the people that you could be helping, right? Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is like you in your head. I always like to look at this card like all the other unicorns are sleeping and that one in the middle is like thinking of something that happened 8 years ago. That's you, honey. You are ruminating lately more than usual. And you're sick of it too. You're over it. But I feel like that's you kind of distracting yourself. Distracting yourself from the task at hand, putting yourself in the story of, it's hard, I can't, I need to do this. And it's like what you should be doing to like become the you that you want to be is just like so much more natural than the stress you're putting yourself through. And then the renewal card is the Judgment card, which is just bringing yourself into balance. And I really feel like with these cards are telling you that like the change that you like that your guides are encouraging you to make to get to where you want to go is so much more simple than you imagine. When you imagine like yourself now and yourself where you want to be, you imagine like almost a completely different looking person. But you right now is the you that you want to be. I mean, you're not going to like change forms. You're not going to like shape shift. You're not going to like change souls before then and now. You're just going to evolve. So, what's that? A Squirtle. Going Pokemon right now. A Squirtle Pokemon is a baby Blastoise. The Squirtle, when it evolves to the Blastoise, it doesn't become a totally new animal. It just becomes like stronger and cooler and better. You are not a baby anymore. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying you're not this like person who is just avoiding everything anymore. You're like very aware. And you're like this close to your dreams. Like this close. And it's almost like the last little piece is like self-acceptance. Accepting where you are now. Accepting the timing of your journey. I'm feeling so many messages that you're giving yourself around timing. I wish I could do this before this date. I want to make this amount of money before this date. How am I even going to be making that amount of money before this date? I wish I did this a year ago. That is just keeping you where you are. A question that I want you to ask yourself, Cancers, is how is it benefiting you to stay in this position? And I'll tell you my answer. It's that it's easier to do what's always been familiar. If my family always lived paycheck to paycheck, living paycheck to paycheck is just run of the mill. It's what I'm used to. And while it might be much more stressful, it's familiar. And the mind always attaches to familiar. So this last 2 weeks of November is really about you going for the unfamiliar. Not even like I said, it's not even like changing your whole personality. It's not this big shift. Just doing the thing that you know that you are meant to do. Just taking tiny steps towards that. That's really it. So I know that we didn't get into love very much right now. And I don't want you to think that love's not coming into your life. When I get messages like this, these are just messages that are like dying to come out. Like your guides are like really wanting you to hear it. So like this is what I'm going to focus the reading on, but you can definitely get a love reading with me and we can dive deep into your love life. There's the link below. I'll be back for a December Christmas a Nightmare reading before Christmas. That sounds so fun. Nightmare Before Christmas reading. Oh my gosh, let's do it. So I'll be back in December. Like and subscribe, and I love you guys.